Hey guys, welcome to Quinian's Budget Crafts. Let's make this desk right here. It's about 2 inches wide by about an inch deep. We'll just use a whole bunch of different type of popsicle sticks. The wide ones for the desk top, and a couple of the regular ones for the sides. And we'll use these little coffee stir sticks here to make the drawer faces. 2 normal popsicle sticks are just a little bit wider than one of the wide ones, so we'll just put a little mark on there and trim it off. As for the height of the desk, you can just use a mini to try and figure out what that's going to be. Somewhere around waist level seems about right for a desk. That's about 3/4 of an inch. So just snip off your popsicle stick somewhere around that length. You want 2 of those at the full width, and then take one of your other popsicle sticks and then trim that excess off. Then take your trimmed popsicle stick and go ahead and make a couple more of those little 3/4 inch pieces. We'll need some little panels for the drawer faces to go onto. So just using some of the wide popsicle sticks, go ahead and cut a little chunk off the same length as your side walls, so about 3/4 of an inch. Before you assemble everything, go ahead and hold it down with something and slice it up with your X-Acto to put some wood grain in it. This will also help to distress it a little bit because I think this house has been abandoned for like 20 years or something. Then just use a little bit of hot glue to stick the little ones together, and then just glue them right to the underside of the desktop. Then you can put a little more hot glue down and stick your faces on there for where the drawer faces are going to go. The book mentions that all 6 of the drawers are open. The 7th one that's in the middle is not open. So we're going to have to actually build some little drawers out of these coffee stir sticks. For the drawer in the center, just figure out how much of a gap you've got between those 2 face panels, cut one of the coffee stir sticks that length, and glue it right on. Best way to avoid a mess is to put it where it's going to go and then glue it from behind. The length of that center drawer is actually a pretty good length for width for the ones on the side. So cut out a whole bunch of little pieces that size. Once you've got 6 piles of those, go ahead and take one of the wide popsicle sticks and figure out how wide that stick is. Mark it and trim off the excess. This is going to be your drawer bottom. Then go ahead and cut out the drawer bottoms. They don't really have to be perfect because we're going to make the drawers different lengths anyway. And then you can take some super glue and glue it all together. I'm going to use this DAP kind. It's like a gel liquid stuff. It sets up initially as fast as crazy glue, but still gives you a little bit of work time because it's partially a gel. It's some pretty cool stuff. And like with any super glue project, you got to glue it to yourself at least once. Something else you can do here is use some tweezers to hold onto the thing so it's easier to maneuver and see what you're doing. And then once you've got it more or less tacked into place, you can go ahead and dunk it in your baking soda to sort of set everything. It won't be completely dry, but at least it won't stick to your mat or anything like that. So for gluing these onto the desk itself, just figure out where you want them to go, put down a line of super glue and stick it on. Since you made the drawers kind of haphazard, they're not really the same length or anything, that's good. You can just use some flush cutters to trim off any excess sticking out. And that should give you a little bit of variation on how they're sticking out. That way it looks more natural, like it's actually been ransacked. And just like before, you can dump some baking soda all over pretty much everything. Just make sure that you get the excess off. Use some canned air or blow on it really hard. Time for some handles. These tiny little beads look like they'll do pretty well. So just a tiny drop of super glue where each one's going to go and set one down. The middle drawer is closed and locked, so I'll put one of those tube style beads on there with another bead next to it so it's like a handle with a keyhole. To get rid of the holes in the beads on the drawer, you can pack those with the baking soda before you put the glue on there, and then you put liquid super glue on the baking soda and it fills it in. Alright, so I had started to paint this with a paint marker because I like the brown better than the other browns for the paints I have. And I realized how incredibly rickety this thing is, so I decided let's go ahead and Mod Podge it first. While I was putting the Mod Podge on here, I realized that a couple of the drawers had been noticeably forcefully broken open. So let's go ahead and add some damage real quick and then we'll just Mod Podge over it. Just grab some snippers or something and pick a couple drawers and break them. Doesn't really matter which ones or how much, just so it's obvious that they've been broken into. If you want to add any more hot glue reinforcements underneath, now would be a good time. Get it all coated in Mod Podge, and then once that's dry, go ahead and take it outside, spray it down with a primer, and then you can use whatever color paint you want to use. I'm going to use this. It says that it's flat red, but it's brown. It looks like brown to me, so that's what I'm going to use. Okay, now that all the spray paint is dry, the original story said that all 6 of these drawers are empty. The updated version does not say that, so I'm just going to assume that there's some leftover assorted papers in them because it adds interest. If you've got some of these pre-printed little papers, just pick out whatever is going to look good to you. Put in a little drop of super glue and stick the paper in. For weathering on this, I'm going to use used coffee grounds. Basically just sort of rub it all over, get some of the coffee grounds in the drawers. You just want this thing to be really gross and dirty. Then go ahead and get your black wash and put it down wherever you want the heaviest dirt to be. Usually along the edges, and if it ran off the side, make sure you continue it all the way down. And then water down your black wash and put that all over everything. That way you don't have any weird stains that are sort of out of place. For the knobs or handles, whatever you're calling them, I'm just going to use this gold paint marker. You can buy this set of markers from my affiliate store. These things are great. And just go over all the knobs with the gold or silver, whatever color you like. This pack comes with a ton of them. And then once you're all done, just go ahead and give it a little blast of some clear coat matte, and you're good to go. There's a pretty simple little ransacked desk for you. This one is, of course, for the Saltmarsh house, so make whatever changes you want for your desk. But if you want to keep the insanity train rolling, you can jump over on Patreon to support the channel and get some exclusive access, or a one-time donation on coffee. And like I said with the paint markers, I have a website with affiliate links where you can go and pick up the stuff that I like to use. It doesn't cost you anything, but it does help the channel. If you like this video, you might like one of the others here, or start on the beginning of this series. But as always, thank you for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, jump on the socials, and all that good stuff. And I'll catch you on the next one.